keeping me from me.
I can't understand why I am how I am. Who am I? What am I supposed to be?
Don't be scared, I see you come near me. Here's the space just for you in my heart. Restless soul, hear my call to be the unrepeatable gift you are.
I'm not scared, you see me, you know me. Beyond the broken parts of my heart, with you I am free to be called to love from the start.
I'm here, I can hear you. I know your body and your soul is longing for this journey now.
We'll walk there together, you're more than pieces you are whole. Truth and love will show us how.
Don't be scared, I see you come near me. Here's the space just for you in my heart. Restless soul, hear my call to be the unrepeatable gift you are.
I'm not scared, you see me, you know me. Beyond the broken parts of my heart, with you I am free to be called to love from the
start, to love from the start, to love from the start, from the brokenness of my heart.
Here's a space just for you. Beyond the broken parts, with you I am free to love, to love, to love from the
Hello!
Hey,
Welcome
Marian!
everyone! Welcome to this Love Rediscovered course launch part 2. So I am Marian and here is my partner for today's session, Guada Villanueva. Let's welcome Guada.
Hello! Hi, everyone! Marian, would you just like to do a quick intro about yourself? And I'll also follow suit after.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Marian. I'm teaching in an all-girls school here in Cebu. I'm a Cebuana. And I was with Guada before in learning the TOB, and it was a very exciting thing because finally there are desires of my heart that I cannot articulate, but TOB has given me those words that are deep inside my heart that I cannot speak. So it gave me a language. And by the way, TOB might sound so complicated because it starts already with theology, but it's more than that. It's like life and love. But Guada, teka muna, you attended the TOB, right?
Huh?
In US?
Ay!
Magpakilala ka naman and then you introduce yourself, di ba?
Okay, wait, before that, no? So in case
Oh,
there are people who are joining us live today, yun, just feel free to comment, like, throughout this launch, throughout the session. Yan, meron na ditong si Christine
yan,
Flores.
oo.
Hi,
Hi,
Christine!
Christine.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. So there, in case you also have questions, through the session, feel free to ask it as well. Then we'll get back to you guys later. In the
Yeah.
end, we'll also have like some time for Q&A if time permits. Okay, so just some background info on me. Okay, so like my full-time job, I'm a campus recruitment team lead. So it's in the field of recruitment and HR. And then on the side, yeah, I'm also here advocating theology of the body with Beyond Kilig. So yeah, well, one thing I'll just kwento a bit about it, no. So um just a few months back, so I was able to take this TOB course in person with the TOB Institute, Theology of the Body Institute, with Dr. Christopher West. So before, I used to just watch him in
Amazing.
YouTube, or I was just reading his books, but then this time around I was able to witness him teach in person. So it was such an amazing experience. Like, wow. So
Goda,
I
I
had
think
like, mhm.
our audience right now, baka hindi nila, sa mga hindi kilala kay Christopher West, maybe you can explain siguro kung sino siya para
Okay, so
para alam din nila kung sino siya.
sige, usually he introduces himself as the theology of the body guy. So yeah, so he's right now the person, well, there's actually a team behind it. So they're who formed the Theology of the Body Institute. They have a lot of materials, they have courses, and then they also come up with conferences that teaches, and it's meant to spread the word on the theology of the body and also the teachings of St. John Paul II. So there. Okay,
Yeah,
so yun, it was
galing
amazing,
naman.
and the stories of the people there, of the attendees, it's yeah. I know it's
Amazing.
amazing. They all have their own stories, like why they're there, how did they get to know about the theology of the body, what's the impact of it in their lives. It's yeah, it's just so inspiring. And then imagine being in a room with fired up people, like all keen to learn these teachings. So actually, not everyone's even Catholic. I mean, there are even people from other religions as well who were my classmates in the course. So
Wow! Grabe!
uh-uh.
Theology must, I mean, TOB or the theology of the body must be very attractive kasi even the non-Catholics are
Yeah,
studying it
it's
too.
open. It's open to them as well.
Galing.
Okay, so wait, enough about me. You know what? I think
Ah,
if I'm going to talk
sige,
about
okay.
everything that I've learned there, it's going to take like an entire session, but maybe that's for another time.
Okay, okay.
So how about you, Marian? What have you been up to these days?
Ah, me, I just watched the Korean novella Extraordinary Case of Attorney Woo.
Okay,
And I don't know kung meron bang makaka-relate dito sa mga audience natin. Paki-type naman me if you also have watched it. Kasi Gwada, I find it very very beautiful and very noble kasi the guy really showed love to this person, no? Si Attorney Wu, kahit despite of her uh, sickness, no? She has autism, but she's very good. She's very intelligent. But and I will never look at dolphins and whales in the same way again after I've watched it. It's really beautiful.
okay,
But
I'm
I'm
just
not gonna
curious.
tell you more.
Okay,
I don't
I'll
want to
just
be a
try watching it
spoiler.
later tonight. Okay, I'm just wondering, like, whales and dolphins. Where did that come
Yeah.
from?
And then I think we
Okay,
have to say hi to Rina. Hi,
hi.
Rina. How are you? She says, hello, Marian and Guada. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so let's go ahead now. So let's just
Okay. Sige.
first thing we'll go through is the TOB basics. So I bet you guys are wondering what's theology of the body about. So yeah, that's the course. I mean, that's what's going to be talked about in the course, but let's just start off with it first.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys might be wondering ano ba ito? Anong ibig sabihin nito? Okay, so theology of the body. Theology, it also stands for the study of God. In this case, study of God, of the body. So it's a series of 129 lectures given by Pope John Paul II during his Wednesday audiences in St. Peter's Square and the the Paul VI Audience Hall between September 1979 and November 1984. So I think these were one of the first things he talked about and preached. It's biblical reflections on the body and on being male and female. So we have its basis would be on scriptures, these reflections that he had. And yeah, it's that's why it's theology of the body, because it talks about the body, humans being both body and soul, and what that means in terms of being male and female, made in the image, us being made in the image and likeness of God. So we'll be unpacking that. Okay. So sometimes, naisip mo na ba kung nalito ka kung sino ka ba? Or natanong mo, bakit ako ganito? Yon. So sa TOB, malalaman natin ang katotohanan ng ating pagkatao. Tapos, dito rin natin makakapag-reflect kung ano ba ang mga hinahanap ng ating puso. So, what are these desires that we have within us? And are they for nothing? Will it lead us to #myforever? I'm sure minsan may isip nyo na parang, okay, parang ayoko na, gusto ko nang sumuko sa mga desires na to, or like, ano bang point nito? Bakit? So yon, or if not, okay, when will these desires be fulfilled? So there, I'm sure you might be asking those questions. So these are the things we'll be talking about in Theology of the Body. Okay, so God has placed in the human heart a desire to know the truth, in a word, to know Himself, so that by knowing and loving God, men and women may also come to the fullness of truth about themselves. So here, it's just like, hitting two birds with one stone. I mean, these desires to know the truth, it's not just for our self-knowledge, but it's also a way for us to know God. So there, it works both ways. And these desires for self-knowledge, it will always be there. It's for our own good. It's for our self-development. So, we need to process these things. There, whatever's in our hearts, whatever's in our interior. Yun. Okay. So, ito, man is obsessed with looking at the human body. But do we really see it? Or do we know the value of our body? And what is that great mystery revealed in our bodies? Okay, so yun, pag nagko-commute tayo or nagda-drive, usually, di ba, ang daming billboards or ads tayo nakikita. And usually, parating may tao doon. So yun, may maganda or may gwapo. Yun, nakikita natin mga artista. And then everywhere, usually, when it comes to products, there's also an endorser. A person that endorses the product. Or if not, it catches our attention to lead us to the product, right? So there. And then even we also have, through our cell phones, mga mirrors, yun, minsan mahilig tayo mag-selfie or tumingin sa ating sarili. Yun, it's because yun, we're very much attracted to the body. It's very beautiful. We're obsessed with it, no? In a sense, because it's everywhere. I mean, yeah, for us to look at our own bodies, to see another person. Yeah, we all know that the body is very beautiful. So, yun. But do we really know the value of it? Do we love our own bodies? Do we know what's the mystery revealed through it? So that's what we're going to unpack in these teachings. So here, so the reason why it's very valuable are our bodies. It's because of this concept, the sacramentality of the body. Okay, so what I'm going to read here, it's like the thesis statement of these teachings of TUB. It's what it revolves around. Okay, so only the body is capable of making visible what is invisible, the spiritual and the divine. It has been created to transfer into the visible reality of the world the mystery hidden from eternity in God, and thus to be a sign of it. Okay, so medyo nosebleed siya, no? Pero of course, I'll also explain then how you can understand this and unpack this loaded statement. So yeah, so us being both body and soul, so it's within us that we also see that the spiritual meets the divine. It's in our bodies. Okay, so we're also capable of, that's why we always say, okay, man and woman, or us were made in the image and likeness of God, because we can also show that mystery of who God is through our bodies. I mean, yeah. And even God himself, right? I mean, he also became man. He, through his body, he showed his love for us, who he is. Yeah, a lot of things. It's in the Bible, right? So anyways, I'm not gonna expound on that, but here, through through love, our bodies make known God whom we cannot see. Our being male and female, called to one flesh union, represents the kind of intimacy that God wants to have with us. So there, that's like easier version for us to understand what we just read earlier. Okay, so there. It's through us that we're capable of revealing who God is and what's his love about, what's that like. So yeah. Okay. Okay, so now if we see here wedding rings, and it's also like a picture of the Bible. So that if we look at the Bible, it starts the starting chapters on Genesis. It talks about creation and how man is made. Yeah, the creation of man and woman is there. Yeah, the union of man and woman is also there. So how it was supposed to be in the very start, how we were created. So there's the marriage there of Adam and Eve, of their union, and of course the creation as well. And then in the very end of the Bible, we also have the marriage of the Lamb. So they're the wedding banquet that we're all invited to. And then in the middle, it's the Song of Songs. So that's like erotic love poetry, okay, of God for his people, for Israel. And it's also like, what happens between man and woman in the act. Okay. So there we can see that in the start and the end, even the middle, it has talks about marriage. So it's through this primordial sacrament that that we're able to kind of, okay, we can link both, that how God shows his love for his people. It's also shown there through marriage. So it's through that lens that we're going to see to understand more what's being revealed to us. Okay. Okay, so I'll just call Marian back, no, because it was from learning theology of the body. That's just honestly just a quick glimpse of what it is about. But it was from learning these teachings that we were like, hey, how come this isn't really being talked about? How come I did not learn this before? And then me and my classmates back in 2020, when we first learned theology of the body, we decided to come up with, a year later, we decided to come up with Beyond Kilig. So yeah, usually in learning these teachings, there's a lot of fruits that we can get from it, and all kinds of initiatives and ways to promote it. It's going to flow forth. So this is one of the fruits of it. This whole advocacy. Okay.
Thank you, Goda. Ang ganda naman ng TOB talaga. Thank you, Goda, for telling us what TOB is. So, in the next slide that you're seeing right now, you are seeing the page or the website of Beyond Kilig. So, after learning TOB, we come into a resolution na this has to spread, and it should not only remain in that studying, no? And then we realized that since this is life and this is about life and love, and sometimes we equate love to kilig, isn't it? We always equate love to kilig unless no, unless you have tried real love, because real love is beyond kilig. We all know, let's say for example, your mom and dad who are already at their like old age na siguro, no? For example, of those lolas and lolos who love each other, there might be no kilig anymore, but they still have the love. So meaning love is more than that, and it's beyond kilig. So now the TOB is kind of hard to digest because of the word theology, and it seems so like intellectual, but it's not only for the intellectuals, it's for us, it's for each of the person alive here on earth. And especially right now, for example, we have these issues of like, sino ba ako, ano ba talaga ako, bakit ako, let's say for example, bakit ako ganito, and we cannot understand ourselves anymore. And aside from that, we cannot understand other people. And seeing all these things happening around us and the many lies that these ideologies, wow, my Facebook user dito na comment, real love is beyond killing. That is so true. I don't know the name of this Facebook user, but I really affirm what you said. Now, where am I? I'm kind of, yeah, here. Let's go back to TOB na it's beyond real love is beyond kilig. And there are so many lies that the world around us is telling us, like you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to be this, and you have to be that. And then it creates a certain turmoil of our identity that we do not know anymore who we are. Let's say, for example, maybe we heard so many friends saying, I'm a man trapped inside a woman's body. Or sometimes we also think like, or maybe I'm a girl trapped inside a man's body. But is that the truth? Is it the truth of who we are? And yeah, we have friends and maybe like even families and relatives who are in this kind of situation right now, but we know what is deep inside, but we cannot explain. And so here is Beyond Kilig. Beyond Kilig is an organization that developed because of a class that we had about TOB. And it's about discovering a love that will last. It's like finding true love, embracing our identity, and realizing our life's purpose, and how through the theology of the body. And we can go to the next slide. Ayan. Thank you, Gwada. So, Beyond Kilig started March 2021. So, we are actually a group who are advocating the teachings of the Catholic Church on man's identity, purpose, love and sexuality, summed up in Pope St. John Paul II's theology of the body. So, minsan, I grew up in a, Catholic environment. Sometimes nauumay din ako, like bakit ganito, bakit ganyan, pero walang tamang explanation, bakit bawal, 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 bawal. Ang daming bawal. But here in TOB, the TOB provided me with very good explanation to see the truth. And that's what we have here in Beyond Kilig. So what does Beyond Kilig hope for, or we dreamed of? We are dreaming that every Filipino youth will be empowered to love Beyond Kilig and to be able to give and also receive love. And not only love, but real love. So alam nyo ba kung ano ang totoong pag-ibig? Alam nyo ba kung what's the design of true love? No, so here in Beyond Kilig, you will know that. Is love, what's the opposite of love? Is the opposite of love hating? Well, in TOB, the answer is no. And why? Ay, nako. Join kayo sa Love Rediscovered course if you want to know why the opposite of love is not hating. And you will see it there. So, through the variety talents of the people here in Beyond Kilig, we come up with contents, courses, and give talks to simplify and concretize the principles of life and love from the theology of the body to make it possible for us to live by each day. So the theology of the body is not only like in the head or for intellectuals, but it's really everyday life. And here in Beyond Kilig, we are uh, putting it in the Filipino context. And so here is our photo. This is the first batch who attended the class with Carmela. And from that, Beyond Kilig was formed. No? And then here, so these are some of the programs and courses that Beyond Kilig already has done. And we have our first Love Rediscovered course, no? Last May 22 until October 9, 2021. It's a 10-day session on a second and fourth Saturdays before. But right now, we will explain to you how is the Love Rediscovered course designed so that you can really come and it will be at your desired time, at your you can easily access it with together with your facilitator. Well, anyway, Guado will explain about that later on. And then another event that Beyond Kilig already has formed is the Crash Landing on TOB. So this is a crash course on theology of the body. Kasi maraming mga tao na hindi pa rin nila alam kung ano yung TOB. So this is just like a tidbits of TOB. We explain here what TOB is in the simplest way, but there's more to it. So that's why it's really good to attend the courses. Okay, and then here, this is the Love Rediscovered course. This is their first photo, no, of the first Love Rediscovered course. So, again, we'll go to the next slide. Ayan, not only that, but Beyond Kilig also has produced Kwentuhang Beyond Kilig. So, this is a uh, kwentuhan, it's a talk show, and you can still actually see the replays of it in YouTube. So you just type in Beyond Kilig, you look for the Beyond Kilig YouTube, and look for the Kwentuhang Beyond Kilig. And if you want to review those sessions, it's really beautiful and really nice. And another one is also the Restless Soul. You can see here, this is a song composed by the people who attended the Love Rediscovered course. So you can see here that the talents that you have will actually have a venue for you to express it, but in the most purposeful way, because we are giving message, not only not only a narrow message, but a deeper one, not only a shallow message but a deeper one. Okay, next, this is well attended. This healing conference was very beautiful, and many people were giving comments now, why don't we do it again, no? So many were clamoring for it to come back. And again, if you want to see what are the talks being said here, you can actually go again to Beyond Kilig and review the videos there. I tell you, you see it for yourself, because no matter how much I say here, no, if you don't if you don't see the real thing, you will not experience it. So better you go to the site, or you go to the FB page, or join the community and look for the videos there, and you can review it. Kasi story to ng totoong tao, real story. We are not just talking here about, uh, theory or up there na hindi natin matatouch. This, the ones that we are discussing here in Beyond Brokenness are real stories of people. And how is TOB giving these people the the venue to see themselves, that they can be healed, no, that healing is there. Okay, well, anyway, parang ang dami ko nang nasabi. Here, Beyond Brokenness, this was the 2-day online healing conference composed of lessons from the theology of the body, and also personal testimonies of people who share their journey of healing, and panel discussions to help one in the process of healing and self-recovery. And then here, this is the Beyond Kilig community. You can search in FB also, in the Facebook page. And then join in the community, and may maraming mga discussions. You can ask people there. You can message people if you have questions about love, life, sexuality, and anything. You can message us there. And oh, here, this one. Nandito na pala tayo sa Love Rediscovered course part 2. And I think, do you have questions ba? You can actually type and put in the comments, ha, if you have questions. And if alam namin yung answer, then we're gonna answer you. But if hindi namin alam ang answer, hanapin natin ang answer together. Okay? Sige, I think I have to call Guada again so that she will explain the Love Rediscovered part 2. Hi, Guada.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Sige,
Marian,
okay, Guada.
for talking about that. Okay. So, what makes this year's Love Rediscovered course different from last year? So that's like the bulk of what we'll be explaining and what's covered. Um, okay, so we already talked about this, what TOB is about, giving clarity on the yearnings and desires of each person for love. And aside from just asking these questions, but we'll be pretty much answering it as well. Okay, but then it's not, the answers doesn't just come from the speakers, okay, but it's also you kind of unpacking what are those answers, the personal answers that you get to reflect on. So there, it's really going to make you think and reflect. because again, I mean, each of us are unique. So God has His own ways of talking with us in terms of the message He wants to tell you and I, about what makes you unique, your talents, your gifts, your purpose, your unique purpose in life. Only you can love the way you love. I mean, since you're unrepeatable, then no one's going to love the same way that you do. So yeah, and of course, where does sexuality fit in God's plan? Because there's also a lot of confusion in this aspect. Okay, so these are the sessions. So right now in this launch, we're just covering the basics and an overview of the course. But then it's a total of 10 sessions. So just to know, so that you know what to expect. Like the first one, the complete picture. It talks about what is it about you that speaks loudly that you are made in the image and likeness of God. I mean, we always hear that line, but ano ba talagang ibig sabihin nun? Paano? Paano? Okay. And then the second one is the gift of love. So here, what's the message that lies within our naked bodies? We'll also be able to unpack what's the difference between naked without shame, being shameless and shameful, and those things, and differentiate it. The restless soul, so it talks about what are these desires of our heart, and what's in there that we need to process, so that yeah, because we know that in the heart it's also the battlefield of lust and love. Yeah, okay. And then in the dynamics of love, it's how do you know if it's love and not the opposite? So, diba, when it comes to authentic goods and like those luxury items, yun, how do you know if it's the real thing, authentic one, or if it's fake, something that's just an imitation of it? So sometimes there's a thin line between what is real love and what we think is love beyond. Yeah, pretty much that's what that session is about. Then we have the body speaks. So what are the characteristics of self-giving love? And then the complementarity of the sexes, like how do we complement each other, the difference between male and female, the purpose of our union, and all that. And if your body speaks truth or lies. And then discerning marriage, it's not just about marriage, but it's also about both vocations, even celibacy, and also discerning your vocation, because it's basically a path to love. Okay. And then of course, after learning all these things, how will we use TOB lens in terms of the different relationships that we have? And then of course, how do we face issues using the TOB way? And then, last but not the least, we'll also cover movies and theology of the body. And we'll be watching a movie also, and then from there we'll see, okay, what are the concepts, or what are the things that were discussed that we can relate to TOB, even the signs and symbols that are very TOB. So there, it's because I mean, in everything that whether it's music, art, literature, or in pop culture, or even in movies and series, there'll always be certain truths that are out there that we can grasp. And then yeah, I mean, sometimes some of the movies, there may be parts that aren't so great, but then there's also certain parts that are good. So having that eye to be able to pick out what are those good things revealed about those that are common to each person's desires for love, desires for happiness, for what's good, for the truth. The truth will set you free kind of thing. Yun. Yung bagay na yun. Okay. So this is just a basic FAQ. So it's a 10-session course. It's going to happen once a week for about 2 hours. So this time it's not just all just lecture from a person, but it's a mix. So we have a recorded video or a recorded lecture to watch, and then afterwards there's going to be a group discussion. So yun, may time for you to talk, to discuss about the topic and related items. So guided naman yun by our facilitators. So these are members of the Beyond Kilig team, and some of them were also attendees of the previous Love Rediscovered course. So yun, para at least meron kang group na you can process these things with. Okay, so for our attendees, yun, single young professionals, men and women, ages from 20 to 40 years old. And of course, if let's say you're not within that group, within that age group or whatsoever, then just message us. Then we'll see. I think we can consider you as well. Okay. So next one would be what to expect. So we want those who come out of this course to have the truth to cling to, and these are principles of life and love. So by knowing these things, you'll be able to form criteria to make good decisions. And then yeah, these things will also affirm, like as what Marian said earlier, there are things na mga nasa puso natin na hindi natin ma-articulate or masabi, pero pag nalaman natin, oh, yeah, yun. Oo, yan. And then we also want you to have the conviction to stand up for love for yourself and for another. So ibig sabihin nun, you're strong enough and convinced ka na, okay, you'll say no to anything that's less than authentic love. Okay? So, yon, at least doon mo malalaman, okay, hindi to yung tunay na pagmamahal na gusto ko. Hindi to yung deserve ko. Alam mo yung kung anong deserve mo. Okay? So there, it's having that criteria and that also that strength so that you can protect your heart. Yun, to have that certain level of self-knowledge that, of course, that can help you make a sincere and whole gift of yourself, no, in terms of the vocation that you're called to, whether that's in celibacy or if religious or to marriage. And even while you're still single, if you're, let's say, still waiting for a lifetime partner, how can you make a sincere and whole gift of yourself? Because it doesn't mean you're stuck in limbo, but there and then we all have that call to live holiness and to be a gift to others and in this world. And then of course we'd also want you to be able to view life with TOB lens. So yun yung goals namin for our attendees of this course. So what is in it for you? So isa siyang safe space for dialogue and learning together. Dahil kasi you'll be learning it with a small group throughout those 10 sessions. Yun, meron kang small group. And then from here, you'll also have food for prayer and self-reflection. You'll be able to form friendships and have a support group. And we'd want this to be a blueprint for you to live your life to the full. So yun, to Kilig and beyond. We keep on talking about Beyond Kilig, beyond. But of course, wag natin kalimutan ang kilig, di ba? So yun. Okay. Next one. Okay, so just some recommended reading. So whether or not you'll be joining the course, we just want to share with you, that these books are very helpful to learn more and to understand these teachings. So we have the Theology of the Body for Beginners by Dr. Christopher West. We also have this book, Free Love and True Love, on TOB by Father Joel Hassan. So he's Filipino, and yeah, this is very easily accessible. So you can purchase this yung ebook na to through feastbooks.com. Yun, less than 200 lang ata siya, but it's good content as well. So yun. And then we also have Theology of the Body in 1 Hour by Jason Everett. So yun, you can check this out. Okay. Next one. Okay, so yun, for all of our courses, yun, there's always a culminating activity or a creative output. So it's up to you and your group know what you'd want to come up with, whether that's a song, that's a video, it's up to you. So yun, I'll just be sharing with you guys yung sa batch ko. So when with me and my classmates, each of our groups came with different videos, and I'll show you one of them. So yun, ang goal natin is to be able to come up with a library of videos made by Filipinos promoting message ng TOB. So it can be about the different topics covered in class. And or it can also be the issues that all of us face. So yun, I hope you guys enjoy this video just like I did. Okay, sige. Wait, let's check it out. Here. Okay, so I'm not sure what you guys feel about that video, but it's interesting and nice, no? It gets to naman yung story. Oo, so yun, that was
Sayang.
Output.
You know, Guada, you know that song, Come Inside of My Heart if you're looking for answers. Kasi no, sabi ng lyrics ng song, it's here, wait ha, nasan yun? The song says, I love you, but I won't really show you until you're okay. Like, parang, the song is like, I will not show you until you give me a sign that you're okay. So, parang like, kinda relatable yung story niya with that song, and then ganito na lang reaction. Well,
Okay,
anyway,
ito may
yeah.
mga reactions tayo from some of our viewers. Thank you, Kat, for joining us and
Oh.
watching the video. Aray daw! What nice And from
Ito,
Rina.
ayan, meron pa. Beautiful video.
Okay.
Okay?
So, you know,
Yeah.
that's one
So,
of the output from the
there's another
previous
one?
um wala na. I mean, there's actually a lot more. You can check out in our YouTube. So, may mga
Yes.
videos dun na you guys can check out na output from our previous course attendees. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but now there's actually more exciting things to hear from two of our
Yes.
other friends from Beyond Kilig team. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Marian, introducing
So,
them.
here in Beyond Kilig, we are not just like talking about theories, but we are talking about real stories. Yun ang for me ha, yun ang pinakamagandang feature of all the activities in BK, because we're not just talking about like theory lang, but you know, it's really life experience. So for us tonight, this evening na ba? I know 5:48 pa. Okay, this afternoon, you will see you will hear from two of our speakers na will share to you right now about about their experience in the classes and about TOB as well. So the first speaker that we will introduce to you tonight is a full-time homemaker, and she's also an educator, and her name is Carla Villegas. Is Carla here? Carla. Hi, Carla. Hi, Carla. But before you speak, Carla, let me introduce you first to our audience for tonight. This afternoon. Okay. So, Carla Villegas is a graduate of University of Asia and the Pacific. And it's where she specialized in development education. Her training in her chosen field inculcated in her a strong belief in lifelong learning and educating beyond the confines of the classroom. After teaching grade school for several years, she chose love over career, no? And she settled in Cagayan de Oro City. Grabe tong gugma na to. Gugma is the term for love in the Visayas, you know. So sa mga taga Cebuano, mga Cebu diha, sa mga Cebuano, yeah, by the way, si Carla will understand you. And if you want to message her, like message her now, comment. And so these days, her classroom is the home where she teaches one subject. And guess what is that? Life 101. And of course, to to her four kids. So in her spare time, can you just imagine, no? Like she still has time for us here, and we are so grateful and thankful to you, Guada. Carla, in her spare time, she pursues her passion for teaching, also intentional parenting, and promoting real love by giving talks for Beyond Kilig, and also by facilitating in EduChild courses. She's also a founding board member of CRIO, Early Learning Partners, a startup that organizes conferences, talks, and seminars for parents, teachers, and caregivers in Cagayan de Oro. She believes that well-formed guardians rear well-formed children. So without further ado, Carla, nice meeting you, Carla.
Tama
Take it
na, no?
away. Okay.
Parang mas na-conscious ako after nun. Um,
No
Hello,
pressure.
I'm Carla Villegas. As they mentioned, no, I've been married for 9 years and I'm a mom of four. I was one of the part-time, parang
part of the pioneering batch ng Love Rediscovered course. Even before it was called Love Rediscovered course, wala pang Beyond Kilig back then. We just really, to us, I think it was just a way to spend time during the pandemic and to, not just get stunted in our homes. Parang may growth pa din kahit papaano. So, I took the course, not realizing that the course would actually change my life. How, no? I think one of the things that TOB changed my life is because TOB, it teaches you about man's identity and purpose, as what Guada and Marian have, told you a while ago. But it doesn't kasi just stop at that. It also encourages you to think about your identity and your purpose. And alam mo yun, parang it encourages you to ask questions like, na-mention na rin to kanina, sino nga ba ako? Ba't ako nandito? Sino yung mga mahal ko? Ba't ako nagmamahal? Ano nga ba yung pagmamahal? So, it doesn't give you all the answers na, like wrapped up in a little package with a bow on top. But no. It just encourages you to ask yourself these questions. Mahirap, yes. But maganda rin at the same time kasi ako personally as a wife and as a mom, when you between shuffling all of the duties, like being a mom, being a wife, for other people ba nga, I guess working also kasi being apart from being a mom and a wife, they also work, no. Sometimes you get so caught up in all of the things that you start thinking, teka, ito na lang ba talaga ako? Parang, am I just defined by the things that I do? Am I just a mom? Am I just a wife? Am I, just all about work? So, TOB made me ask those questions and help me have a good sense of who I am so you don't get lost. Kasi sometimes there comes a point when, you really feel na it's time for some soul searching, and TOB was that for me. Medyo mahirap yung questions. They're not very easy to answer, but worth it. Kasi at the end of knowing more about your identity and your purpose, para it encourages you also to live a more intentional life. You don't just, feel na you just go with the flow or like you just let things pass you by. Everything is something that you want because you know it will lead you to your purpose. You catch my drift? But ganon. So, in the end, parang anong effect nun sa'yo as a person? You end up feeling more happy and parang you feel things are easier even if they're difficult things because those are things that you chose for yourself. And they're not hard because it's not something that someone imposed on you. It's something that you want for yourself and you know that it will lead you to where you're supposed to be. So ganon. That was one of the things that, TOB helped me out in. Another is, it helped me know God more and it helped me know more about how God loves. Game changer for me yung line na, this is my body, which will be given up for you, which is given up for you. You hear it all the time during Mass, right? But TOB just, made me see it in a whole different way. Para I just realized how pure and true that love is. And it's so pure and true that self-giving is just that naturally flows out of it. Another thing that TOB made me realize is as a wife, as a mom, as a woman, God actually gave me the opportunity to experience this kind of love, this kind of self-giving. This is my body, which will be given up for you, is actually is something that I can say to the 4 kids that I have. Not nga lang for the months that I carried them within me, even after. Kasi diba, I fed them, and then I take care of them all the time. So Parang, and I do that not because I expect anything in return. I do it selflessly and I do it willingly because I just love them that much. And parang if not for TOB, I don't think I will realize that I have this power, na that this is how much I can love. TOB reminds us that just from your body, you can see the love that you're capable of giving. And realizing this made me, I think, a better mom and a better wife because I know after all of the things that I learned about love, that I can also love my family better. So, yeah. Lastly, ano ba? I think also it empowered me, apart from, just empowering me about, this is the kind of love that you're capable of. Um, it also empowered me to have um, the tough talks with my children. I remember that's one of the things that I really parang motivating force ko for taking up TUB. Kasi, when you were young, when I was young, I don't know if you guys can relate, but religion was all about rules, do's and don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. But TOB made me realize the whyness of things. Why? Bakit nga ba? Bakit hindi natin binibigay yung sarili natin ng buong buo bago tayo ikasal? Um, I had made those choices before because I felt it was the right thing to do, but not really understanding fully. And TOB made me realize why. And I'm so happy that, I can raise my children in an environment where um, rules will not be imposed, but they decide to do things, they decide to make good decisions because they know the truth and not just because, they are expected to because of rules that were imposed on them. So I'm so excited to have conversations with them about love and sexuality and identity and purpose because these were things that I did not get to experience, and I have TOB to thank for that. Thank you, TOB. Thank you, Carmela. Thank you, Guada, for organizing that course, for empowering me to be a better wife, mom, and parent to my children. So that's it.
Wow, thank you naman for sharing us your story, Carla. I'm always inspired every time you talk. Kasi ang ganda.
Thank you.
There's always something new. That's what I
Talaga?
think. Yeah, there's always something new and there's always a quotable quote. Galing naman. Thank you very much,
Thank
Carla, for
you.
being with
Enroll
us.
na kayo. It will really change your life.
Yeah.
Sobrang na bang hard sell? Sorry, but really, really. I mean, if you've ever wondered about your purpose or like you feel that you're stuck in a rut, TOB just might change that for you.
Galing, the best. Thank you very much, Carla. And for tonight, we also have another speaker with us to give us a testimony of how TOB really, changed the way she view things and made her more understanding about the others and how to explain hard things to students, to friends because minsan itong mga issues na nangyayari sa ating panahon ngayon is so hard to explain. Even if you know the truth, sometimes the truth is hard to express. But the next speaker had some encounters and uh, experiences such as this. And by the way, our next speaker, her name is Alex. And kung sensitive yung skin nyo, siya ang dapat nyong lapitan. Kung kailangan nyo ng makeup, tapos sensitive yung skin nyo. Kasi Alex is a registered nurse and advocate for immune health, and she has also been known as the sensitive skin makeup artist. So, ang swerte naman natin dito ngayon, no? This afternoon, we are so privileged to have Alex Escobar. Hi, Alex! Are you there, Alex? Ayan, okay. Hi, Alex! Thank you
Hi,
very
can you
much
hear
for...
me?
yes, we can hear you clearly well. Thank you very much for uh, saying yes to this invitation and telling us your stories of your experiences with TOB. And uh, I have more things but to talk about Alex for a while. Alex, before you speak, Alex is also
Sure.
at yeah, Alex is also passionate about developing people and growing safe spaces to have healing and meaningful conversations about truth, beauty, friendship, and life, and so has been a facilitator and head trainer for EduChild life endeavors and projects, or we call it LEAP. So it's a 7-month course for young professionals for more than 4 years now. So her desire to know more about and share true authentic love led her to volunteer in Beyond Kilig and to teach theology of the body to graduating students in a private all girls high school. So, Alex, welcome to Beyond Kilig.
Hi, Marianne. Thanks for having me. I'm currently in a co working space at the moment, so I hope you can hear me properly. But yeah, I'm asking myself why I'm doing this. But if I remember correctly, I think the question that I'm supposed to answer is, what is the impact that theology of the body had in my life? I hope that's correct. And I'm just going to approach this in a really conversational manner. So I hope you can hear me clearly and I'm loud enough for you guys to hear. So yeah, I'm gonna approach it in a really conversational manner and just speak from the heart. So forgive me, I just came from another event. But yeah, maybe in order to answer this question properly, I'll give you guys some context. So um, my whole life I've been raised as a Catholic. I used to be based in Cebu, but now I'm based in Manila. But maybe something about myself that would be a bit helpful to learn about is that I'm quite inquisitive. I really like to ask a lot of questions about things. So I came from an all girls school also that was a private school that was quite I guess more on the conservative side. And after exiting high school and going into college and university, and then during work, I was really curious if people really lived out their faith or if they were just saying things because they expected it to be a certain way, but in reality, what did they really face, what did they really want to know about. So when I was somewhere in college, after getting into debate by accident, and then uh, later on when I started to work, I formed some small group discussions or SGDs with ladies, and we would talk about different topics like dating. What did you really think about contraception, about abortion? These things, because I really wanted to know, because it's very different to hear your faith versus what people are really doing. So maybe for those who are listening and can relate to that, I highly suggest, yeah, that you do also. Sorry, this is not, I'm just narrating my story in a linear way. So that was like Cebu, and then I was able to transfer to Manila. I had a chance to study hair and makeup, and I also encountered Leap there, as Marian mentioned. I actually came from an event for Leap just a while ago, and in Leap we were able to talk about different topics like relationships, career, work, and there I met really good people, and I was able to find out more answers based also on the same small group discussion method. But then I still wanted to know even deeper things because, yeah, I'll be very honest with you. Uh, I had very I guess it's life changing for anybody to lose somebody who they love. I know everybody is going to die one day, but my dad suddenly died unexpectedly 2018, and that really caused me to look at myself and say, like, am I really loving God because I love him? Am I really able to live my faith because I really believe it, now that something very difficult and unexpected and very difficult to understand happened? So yeah, that caused me to really take a deep look at things, and I realized also that there were certain things that I was really trying to look for answers too, but maybe I didn't really have so much conversation about. So around that time, I was exploring topics like, vulnerability, brokenness, grief, these things which I think a lot of people carry and go through, but not so many people talk about. And I think so many people are thirsty and so very hungry for that. And then I think I saw bits and pieces of theology of the body. Just to clarify, segue from that kind of heavier topic. Sometimes I get asked, is theology of the body like what's that? Is like that like a cult or another religion? Like no, it's not. And the first time I heard about it, I also thought similarly, like, is this just about chastity? Is this just about, sexuality? But it's so much more than that, though the conversations do cover that scope. And I guess what I love about theology of the body is that it starts from that very natural root of, uh, yeah, why are we how we are like. I think I can relate it strongly to the song that Guada brought up a while ago, Restless Soul, because I was fortunate to be part of a group, a very good bunch of friends who wrote the song together. And I really believe that each of us has this restlessness in our hearts, asking questions like, why am I here? What's the purpose of why I have to do things? Like, why do I feel such a deep desire to be loved or to be desired? But then why am I also struggling with these things, which the faith is saying that, that's not really good, that's not really authentic. So I love that, at least in theology of the body and at least in this community, we really tried to create a safe space and have meaningful conversations about things that you can really have no BS conversations about. Like we tackle things like maybe um, pornography, masturbation, um, things which maybe might seem taboo, but maybe people struggle with and they don't know why, aside from it just supposedly being wrong, or maybe there's something wrong with you if you struggle with these things. But we go the beauty of TOB is that it goes beyond just you being trapped in whatever you think makes you not enough, because the world tells you you will not be enough unless you have this, unless you try that. There's such a strong pressure to be, and also such a strong pressure maybe making you feel like FOMO, fear of missing out, unless you do this or that. But then why do we see so many people suffering? I think especially now with the pandemic, I can really understand very well why people will think, is there really a God? If there's really a God, why is he making me suffer or making people I see suffer? Um, if there's really a God, why do I feel so alone and feel so unseen in this um, pain, or in these things that it's not easy for me to verbalize? Like, is that even normal for me to feel these things? And within the theology of the body group that I was very fortunate to meet within this Beyond Kilig community, it was such a relief to um, find other people who are also struggling. And you wouldn't think, you'd think that, they seem so put together. They seem like these are even like, like Carla, like a while ago was candidly, really very candidly sharing some of her stories and her struggles. But don't worry, we're not gonna like super deep dive into personal stuff right away. But definitely, because of the things that you learn, um, uh, because in order to know and to love, you need to understand. And with this course, at least, it really carves out space for you to do that. Because I think one of the greatest temptations, at least that the devil tries to do, is that, he makes us think that there's all the time in the world, when with COVID and with things which are happening now, that life is very unexpected and very unpredictable. So, but we want you to go beyond that, because once you get trapped in shame or maybe with your struggles, then you think there's no time. Like, I'm just like this. There's no time to study it, because maybe there's that fear that, okay, I have to
face some things which I kind of know and feel this calling in my heart, but maybe I don't know how to live it yet or to talk about it. And so, Theology of the Body and Beyond Kilig creates this space, carves out this space for you to study it, to consider it. We will never ever force you to accept it or to just be like, why don't you get it? Like it's so obvious. No, people have a different pace when it comes to learning, when it comes to the relationship with God. And that's one of the things that I love about this is that we talk about brokenness too, because it's so hard to talk about love and understanding and wanting a relationship with God or with the faith if you have a lot of wounds that you need to be gentle with and that you need to face. And I think with Beyond Kilig, we try to give you the tools to go through that. It's not just, feel good. It's really very practical, very relevant things that make sense to you. And I think one of the things that maybe people struggle with the most is like contraceptive mentality or why do we do certain things. I think there's this doubt that maybe the church or authorities are trying to keep you away from something, a good, trying to make you miss out. But then I think you and I know that the truth has a way to haunt your soul that never leaves you. And that restlessness in your soul will always be there until, you really rest with the one who made you, you. Because you, whoever is listening now, God who made everything in this world, thought that this universe wouldn't be complete without you. And what's so beautiful about Theology of the Body is that it teaches you that you are an unrepeatable gift. Your life experience, everything that you went through, is so personal to you. So we don't compare our suffering. Yes, we walk along with people, we accompany them, but we we invite you to consider your journey so far in your life, how things have unfolded, for you to see who you are now and who you're called to be, not in just cliche good, feeling good ways, but in very practical, very relevant ways that you have support within groups, within talks, which are more private for those who prefer things in that manner. So we're growing. It's not just about learning. We also are about sharing and celebrating the gift of who you are. And like what Marian mentioned, this is an avenue for you to explore that, to use your talents because you are gifted with those things and you're blessed to be blessed to others, for others too. So I hope that, yeah, maybe this candid sharing of mine, if you're able to follow it, will make you consider, at least, at the very least, it's not about a hard sell to join this group, but I think it's really at least a consider. It's to make you to consider, yeah, take this time to consider who you are, where you want to be, and if you feel that calling to know yourself and to really study and learn more, to understand, meet like-minded people who want to grow and explore, and who want to also be a gift first to themselves, from that inward journey of exploring themselves as a gift to themselves, to love themselves, to heal themselves through all that brokenness so that they can love and love others because of love of God. Then I really, really invite you to consider joining this community and going with us as we accompany each other through this really wonderful, crazy adventure, which is life. So, yeah, I hope that somehow answered the question. Marian?
Alex, thank you so much. Ang ganda naman ng na-share mo, Alex. Thank you very much for allowing us to see your experiences and even the almost a little bit sensitive part, but thank you for sharing it to us because the others can relate to what you have said. Even
Yeah.
actually me while listening to you, like parang that's so true.
But you know what I
Learning
must say,
going well.
Marian? Just to
Huh?
give some consolation to those who are listening, like
Yeah.
it's a work in progress. So
Yeah.
even though I went through these things, I'm still always exploring, and it's always great to be able to learn from other people's perspective. So don't worry, you're not alone. We're
Yeah,
all
that's
growing together.
true.
Yeah,
That's
we do our
true.
best to not to judge and to just hold space for each other and to
Yeah.
invite the grace that's needed for ourselves, for others. Yeah.
Yeah. You are very correct, Alex. That's what I also experienced in Beyond Kilig, the safe space where you can actually air out and speak what is there in your heart without forcing yourself to say it. Because
Mhm.
eventually the truth will just really gonna push you to the truth will gonna push you to say it, and then eventually the truth will heal you. Like it the truth gives healing. Though it doesn't occur one time, that's why we have like more sessions, a lot of sessions, and aside from that, I guess friendships were also formed from
Definitely.
definitely very good friendship. And what can I say but to really thank you also, and thank you. Thank you, Alex. Goda, thank you very much for coming back. And now we are Ay, time check. It's already 6:16. So, Goda, meron ba
Yeah.
tayong mga questions
Okay.
from our
So
audience?
there, I think we're all inspired by the sharings from both Carla and
Super.
Alex. So they were our classmates from our first batch, no. So yeah, they've been with us when we brought Beyond Kilig into being, and they're still here
Mm-hmm.
up until now because of like we're all very passionate about it because of its
Mm-hmm.
impact. Like both you
Yeah.
and I mean we have our own story as well, right? That's why we're here.
We're
That's why
all
we're here. Anyway, so there we hope everyone who joins us even in this lovely Discovered course run, we're so excited that for you to be able to experience these teachings and also to gain more friends. Yes, definitely you'll make good friends here.
Yeah,
So
that's
there,
really
that's why we also made it in a group, small group setting for each group to go through the course. So yeah, the members who assign will be assigned to a specific group to learn together. Okay, so we'd like to open the floor to any questions if there are. Just chat it in the
the
comment
chat.
section. So we'll give some time to that. But if there's none, you can just email us at beyondkiligph@gmail.com. You can message us in
Yes.
Instagram or through our
And the
Facebook page.
messenger.
Yeah, in Messenger, and we'll get back to you. So you can still sign up. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we'll be getting back to you to confirm that by September 1 or the first week of September, just so we can at least finalize the group links.
By the way,
Okay.
Gwada, we have a question here. Is this open to non-Catholics in the Love Rediscovered course? Can the non-Catholics join this, or maybe
Yeah,
will they still be
definitely,
comfortable?
definitely. Yeah. So as
Okay,
long as
so
they're open to learning these teachings, then very much they can.
and no one is
Yeah.
a judger, right?
That's a
No
safe
one is
space.
a judger here. No,
Yeah.
it's just a term used by some young people, like you're a judger, because sometimes when we comment on things such as this, sometimes we are too afraid of being judged. And yeah, another question also, Goda, is like, if are there certificates ba for those who would like to join the ano uh course?
Um, yeah,
Is
so there'll be
not a
a certificate
certificate.
of completion. Of course, for those who are able to go through the 10 sessions, and then certificate of participation if, let's say, you're only able to make it to at least 7 of the 10 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So there. And I think I'll just explain as well the payment scheme. So
Yeah,
right
sige,
now
oo.
it's 3,000 pesos for the 10 sessions, and that's just basically 300 pesos a session. Um, yeah. So there, that's for the
And yeah, so they may have a down payment of how much is it, and then the rest
um,
can be some
yeah. So
in some staggered way.
the down payment is 1,000. Of course, you'd want to be able to get your commitment on this, and yeah, the rest can follow later on.
Yeah. So will the attendees be required to share and talk, or is it a
Um,
requirement?
so again, it's up to the participants. You're free to express yourself, but of course, only to the extent that you are comfortable to. You don't have to if you don't want, and you can just listen for sure. And then, of course, your input and your thoughts are very much valuable. I mean, we don't really ask people what's their personal story to that extent. No, it's just more of their thoughts and insights on this topic or whatsoever. So there, yeah.
Thank you for answering our questions, Guada.
Okay,
And
let
how
me
about
just
the ano, baka meron pa from the audience?
yeah. Well, if there's none, again, they know how to reach us for their questions and
Yes.
concerns. And here you can just register through this link or scan the QR code. Um, yeah, okay, so we're done with them. And just to end, we'll just end with a quote.
Yes, so we will end this launching by this quote from Christopher West, which, oh, Guada, I'm so like amazed at what happened to you. You just had a class with him, like face to face. Amazing. And I'm excited actually to listen to your talk in the Love Rediscovered course part two. Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna
it's
watch after that.
actually the course. So the speakers are we have different speakers for each
Yes.
session. So there, at least you'll be gaining knowledge from different people. So there, it's
Oh
definitely
yeah, that's
gonna be
true.
interesting.
The
Yeah,
speakers Guada no for each session is like different, not really entirely the same. But there some speakers are repeated as well, no?
of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so marami po tayong malalaman sa iba't ibang speakers for this Love Rediscovered course. And to end our launching today, brace yourself. This is from Christopher Westhand, not from us. Brace yourself. If we take in what the Holy Father is saying in his theology of the body, we will never view ourselves, view others, view the church, the sacraments, grace, God, heaven, marriage, the celibate vocation, we will never view the world the same way again. And that's from Christopher West. And that's what happened to us also. That's why we are
Yeah,
here. Because we are viewing the world in a different way right now after learning TOB.
yeah. I think
We
we'll never
tell
be the
you,
same. We'll never be the
it
same
will
person again.
never be the same. That's true.
Yeah,
It's God, I just realized it's the same experience as with watching Extraordinary Woo. Like I'll never gonna look at whales and dolphins in the same way again after watching that. So in TOB, you'll never gonna see life, love, sexuality, the church, and all this more in the same way after you have undergone the TOB course.
yeah.
And
So we're
with that,
excited
Bada,
that you get to learn it. Okay, thank you
yes.
everyone for joining us today. Bye.
And we're signing off. Thank you
Signing
very
off.
much. Bye bye.